Good morning, everyone in the world. Something that's going to trigger all of you on both sides, okay, to one degree or another. Today on the morning show, you know what? You all owe an apology to one degree or another to these illegal immigrants. Everybody. And I'm going to tell you why today. Join us and share this video to everybody on the planet, including Trump and Putin. On the morning show. Let's go. This is going down right now. Okay. That's what's happening here. Let me make a few adjustments on it. We haven't been just trying to get these things to do what I needed to do. It's been a challenge, but we'll get there. Thank you for that applause. I need all I can get. All right, listen, guys. You all owe these immigrants an apology. This is going to be short and sweet. Okay, yes. All right, I got you. Now I have to do that. That's the reason. There's a different setting for this. Let me try to get that setting. So, forgive me. Let me get this thing right. There's a setting. It should just not... We don't need the loop. And, yeah, that should have worked. It didn't work the first time, but okay. We'll leave it like that. Okay, let's do this. If it starts again... Okay. Now... So what's happening? Why does everyone owe these illegal immigrants an apology? I'm going to lay it straight out. The problem is this. They were told to come here. Somebody gave them the impression that they could come here and live. Somebody opened the door. Somebody left the door open, if there is one. There's supposed to be border crossings. Every country has them. But I do know that there is some type of philosophy out there on a global scale. There's people, citizens of the world, if you will. And they believe there's no borders. These borders are ad hoc determinations by people or governments, whatnot. God gave us the world. The world is ours, and we have a right to go into any place that we can't get to. And that's pretty much the bottom line. So there are people that believe this to one degree or another. Okay. But on top of that, we have to admit that the United States has had a see no evil, hear no evil, and whatever attitude when it came to the border for a long time, for whatever reasons. Does the United States feel guilty one way or another that we took this land from the Indians? Then you have that, right? The Indians were here first. And so do we feel guilty about that? Florida is Spanish. Why? Because Spain had colonized Florida first. There were no North American colonies here in Florida until, they discovered, wait a minute, Spanish are down there. Down there in that swamp area? Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's not right. Let's go over there and kick them out. So until that happened, the Spanish were here in Florida. And we all know Mexico was way up our rear end over there, in New Mexico. Hello, New Mexico, and Texas, right? and going up that way, California. It was all Spanish first. It was all part of Mexico originally, right? And even the Gulf. It was just Mexico. There was no United States of America. All right. So, again, the other unwritten rule is that if you conquer land, it's yours. The land goes to the winner, the conqueror. So that's a rule that most governments, nations go by still today. Like Putin. Putin wants to take over. He invades. He took over Crimea. He took it back or over. Was it back? I don't know. But Ukraine had it before, right? In recent history, Ukraine had it, and then Russia moved in and kicked them out. And I think this was under Obama. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Oh, that's not right. Obama said, oh, that's not right. That's not nice. But he didn't do anything, right? This is what happens. A lot of people don't understand something. If you don't do something at the beginning, it becomes a bigger problem later. So, it's the wisdom is nip it in the bud. It's not the butt, because I think some people don't understand things. Nip it in the bud. Let's nip it in the bud. No, you nip it in the bud, which means before it blossoms, before it becomes a big thing, cut it first. Stop it first. As soon as you see it popping up. So that's what we have to do. But we've had this lazy way of dealing with things, and we have allowed things to fester, and we've allowed it so long that we think that that's normal. Like in California, you think, is that this guy has been here for years. It doesn't enter the brain's reasoning process that the person may still be illegal in this country, not a citizen of the United States. No, but he's been here for 20 years. What does that mean in terms of being legal in the United States? I didn't hear there being any such thing as a common law citizen. That would be a thing. Common law citizenry. I mean, is it a thing? Because I've never heard of it. I heard of common law marriage. See, if you guys are together for X amount of years, you're married, we can accept that. But for being in a country for X amount of years, how many years do you have to be in a country from which you transition from being an illegal to being a legal citizen? I want to know about that. I haven't heard about that. So again, it's simply, everything else doesn't matter. And that's what people have to understand. What happens later, he's a good guy. They're all good guys. As far as I'm concerned, any boy and girl that's born of a mother is a good child. They were all good. Al Capone was a great kid. You understand? It doesn't matter what happens. Listen, we're all good to one degree or another. Doesn't matter. Is there such a thing as illegal presence in a country? Is that a thing? That's what matters, and that's the first step. It's illegal. So, listen, you could break into a bank and you can wash the windows. Hey, isn't that nice? He's washing the windows. Oh, it doesn't matter that he broke in. He's washing the windows. He's doing a good job because he's a hard worker. He broke into the bank. He did the wrong thing. He could have done it the right way and apply for a job or offer business service to wash the windows. But no, this is where how do you think that breaking into a bank or anything for that matter to wash the windows, and you did a great, fantastic job, where in the world does that become a good thing? And he could be a great guy, great guy, great gal. Hey, they have children. He brought his children with him, and they're learning how to clean windows fantastically well, perfectly well, in fact. What does that have to do with the fact that he broke in the first place? That's the problem. The people that are in jail, in our jails, are not there because they weren't good people, that they didn't do a neighbor a favor one day or all the days of their lives. Until they did something against the law, they're all good. And for one thing, usually people go to jail for one thing. You don't need to have 100 things. For one thing. That's the way things work here. So the issue is that how can anyone, is the illegal, how can they think that by breaking into a country, entering into a country illegally, they can ever be considered good? How can churches teach that? That's another thing. You guys are really, I'm a minister, Reverend Rosado. How can a priest or pastor get up on the pulpit and pretend to save or preach that they're good, when they are in fact breaking the law? Every single minute they're sitting in that pew, they are breaking the law. And what we're supposed to defend that? No, because the love of Christ does not defend sinning. It does not defend breaking the law. It just tells the person to repent from doing the wrong thing. And how is it that no one is understanding that being illegal in a country is the wrong thing is beyond me. But that's the problem. So those ministers, because the moment these illegal immigrants came into their churches, they needed to preach them the gospel and then mentor them out of this country to do and keep up the ties and help them and bring them in legally. That should have been the way to resolve it. But I guess we can't depend on churches for doing the right thing. And I speak again as a minister. Okay? But since these religions are just religious, fake religions, and just so we can fill up the church, let's fill it up with illegal immigrants. That's what's happened. They're working. They're bringing in some offering, some tithing. They're making the church look bigger. Hey, I must be good as a preacher. For all those reasons and others, they're teaching and modeling the wrong thing and making these illegal immigrants think that everything is okay. And then we can go along to other parts of society. Politicians, oh, the worst. Who are the ones protesting against the wall being built? There's a group of politicians out there, right? Those who protested against the wall, because again, people are people. They're desperate. They're being urged to do things by others that did the wrong thing. They're urged to, let's do this by cartels and by people profiting from them being trafficked across the border. So, this is this is the environment. Those are victims. They were shown that this was okay. Somebody got on TV and said, come, all of you come. I remember that. I didn't forget. If you don't remember that, then you've forgotten. And if you're younger than me, then shame on you. You better look at some prevention for Alzheimer's. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, you can't be asking where your Alzheimer's came from. We can see it already. Okay? You guys open your arms and say, come. We want you here. This is the United States. You come. We take you in. Now, to be honest with all of you, as you know, immigration has always profited the United States. We've always benefited from immigration. So that's clear. No one is saying, I'm not saying anything against that. I am speaking directly against those who facilitated the thinking that it was okay. It just meant the fact that we are benefiting from immigration and that we have immigration laws, because these are laws. The Congress sets the law, not the president. The president can only execute the laws. And you got to understand, it's not Trump. It's the laws of the land. Hello? It's not a silly king. What if that was the bullshit? And I'm going to say it simply and clear, that these Democrats have been feeding all of you cattle out there. They're the ones, and the Republicans, who voted for the laws and can vote for laws that are meaningful for your posit, for your belief. Have they done it? No. The laws are the way they are, and the president can only effectuate the law. It's not an issue of ICE, right? This is an issue of vice, V-I-C-E. And that vice has been devised by the Democrats, in particular in this situation. In this particular situation with ICE and the present day issue. But the long-standing issue has been evolving throughout the years and decades by both Democrat and Republicans. It's not that the Republicans are saints, no. All right, but both of them together have set the laws in place. It wasn't Trump. Trump didn't put the law into place. The Congress does that. So you have to understand, if you are dumb protesting Trump, simple. You have to protest Congress because they're the ones who set the law. But they have you busy, how stupid people are. They have you busy protesting Trump. Trump, he's the one. Bullshitters. It is Congress. It is they themselves, the Democrats. They themselves. Where are the Republicans right now in this topic in relation to what's happening? They are on the side of the law. The Democrats are not, but they voted for this law. Who was in control of both houses of Congress until Trump got into office in the last election? The Democrats. What did they do? Nothing. And you're angry at Trump? You have to be insane. Insane. Simply. Trump is riding the horse that Biden left for him, and that the Democrats have left for him, basically because they are the ones who set the law in place. They're the ones who had power to change the law. But they didn't. And you guys are falling to the same old tricks. I even complain about this of false religions. They do the same thing. They ignore the obvious, and they create this false narrative for their benefit. False religions do that all the time. I'm curious, I would be curious to poll how many atheists are protesting ICE right now. I would love to make a poll, because that would really be significant. But I'm going to talk to this from the standpoint of the illegal immigrant who has been given a false impression by those who support illegal immigration, which is illegal, right? Illegal, remember, illegal immigration. Because anyone who is supporting illegal immigrants are supporting illegality, which is breaking the law, which is against any of God's law. You're breaking the law. It is criminal. And the guy's calling Trump criminal. He's following more of the law than you are. If you're protesting ICE, if you don't like what's going on, if you don't agree with it, you may not like it, because even I don't like it. But it's the law. I support it because it is the law. It's legal. You understand? I have friends. Listen, let me tell you something. As a pastor of the church and as a friend to a family that was here illegally, I don't remember, like 10 years ago or so. 10 years ago or so, this family was visiting our church. They were there. They were very supportive. Fantastic, beautiful people. Under the ministry where we were leading, beautiful people, wonderful friends. They were friends. They still are, but they're not here, right? What happened? 10 years ago, 10, whatever it was, 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I think even more so, they started, it was when this stuff about the illegal immigrants started to take up steam. And I forget who was the president. I'm not sure if it was Obama or something. Before Obama. Anyway, the thing was that this topic was starting to heat up. And the husband was a little bit wary about where it looked like the country was heading, which is what happened now, right? Where we see it's coming to a head now. But he saw this coming already 15 years ago. He's a hard worker, good father, a good provider for his family. He started sending money to Colombia. He's Colombian. And he started setting up a nest egg. He made a plan for himself just in case he had to leave the U.S., that he and his family would be well taken care of. So he started to do that. And once things started getting a little bit iffy, if they were going to start coming to the factories to see who was illegal and stuff like that, because this is not new. This was started long ago because it was the law. It still is. So he decided to pack up with his family and move back to Colombia, which they did. And over there, he started his business. He already had a plan. He had money. He started his business over there. His wife started a business over there. They're both doing wonderful for South America standards. They are doing well, because they plan and they have thought, and they executed that well. They did it well. This goes through the quality of folk, because they're over there. They're doing well. This is quality people. These are people who are living foolishly, and then when they go back to the country, they're begging around or scrambling around what to do. No, these were people who knew what to do, and they did it when they had the chance. So they did that, and all the power to them. They were quality folks. Of course, the people being taken, these illegal immigrants being sent to other countries, a lot of them are good folks. They're good folks. But even the ones that were my friends, they left. They had the good sense, too. Not only were they good folks, they had good thinking to get out while the getting was good. Because they recognized that they're here illegally. And they left. Maybe it would have been better for them to wait until Trump offered the $1,000, you see. But he had lots more money than that, so that wasn't a big deal. But realize this. How many illegals are still here? They haven't taken up the $1,000 offer. So don't come with this thing that they're good folks, they're good people, because they're not thinking well. They're not thinking well. Okay? And to be honest, it's hard to think well. It's hard to find people that can think well and reason well. And that's why we see what's happening. They don't know what to do with $1,000. I can tell you what to do with $1,000, and you'll be well off. Okay? $1,000 is, hey, listen, that's sweet. That is sweet right there. But in any case, the Democrats for the last few years have been promoting amongst the citizens of other South American countries and whatnot, any country in the world, to come to America. You have actively supported this. And look at the support now that's going on. You guys are actively supporting this. You're not, you say that the Republicans aren't thinking about the good people and the family people and this and that. Listen, we got more to worry about from the terrorists, rapists, and all of that you guys are letting in. How about that? You see, this is the issue. And they're the ones really messing it up for the good folks. Like you say, there's good folks. But again, we are ignoring the problem. Everyone is. And the problem are the problem makers, the troublemakers. These are the ones that are the trouble. Okay. So now I'm going to give you solutions that will fix the whole thing. And here it goes. Number one, Trump should offer an amnesty. You see, Republicans don't like that word, amnesty. Give an amnesty to any illegal immigrant that delivers to ICE, to the police, any cartel members, any gang member. That's it. That's it right there. You get to be an American citizen, and I'll give you a medal. If you get your MS-13s, your Tren de Agua, and whatever other crazy gang out there, and rapists and murderers, robber, murderer, whatever have you, you report them and they get arrested, they get proven that they're who we suspect they are and who you said they were, and guess what? They're going and you're staying. That's the first thing that I would do right off the bat. That'll clear the country of all the riffraff right away. Because the good fathers and good mothers, they're going to say, you know what, I'm not going to let my family suffer and let us suffer because of these you-know-whats out there don't know how to behave like human beings. So that's number one. Number two is I've had this idea in my 40 Acres and a Mule program. This idea is originally intended for African Americans, because the Democrats don't give you the 40 acres and a mule that you were promised. I, as a Republican, I know how to get that for you, you see? But you'll never get it from the Democrats, because in order for you to get it, you'll have to move out of their district. Then they can't get reelected again. You see, that's the problem. You have to understand. The Democrats want to give you cheese. Okay? You can't afford anything else, and you won't be able to afford anything else, because the Democrats only help you enough to give you cheese. That's it. They could help you to have 40 acres and a mule, but they never will. They never have, and they never will. No matter when they govern both houses of Congress, they haven't done it. Are people brain dead or what? Simply wake up and smell the coffee. The Democrats have not helped you. They give you trinkets like the colonists gave the Indians for Manhattan. Come on, $1 and some trinkets. That's the Democratic Party's philosophy and how they deal with you. A Republican has the solution for the 40 acres and a mule program. Any African American leader of any organization, contact me and I'll get you and your people set up. Okay? But I'm telling you, the warning is you're not going to want to be Democrat any longer. See? And that's what stops it, because they want you to stay poor. They want you to stay on the plantation. That's it, period. As a Republican, I'm free. I have my land. I have my acres. You'll never achieve that as a Democrat because they keep you down. They don't bring you up. I'm bringing you up. Are you ready for it? That's the question. So I'll deal with any pastor of a church, any organization, any group. For African Americans, I got your solution. You come and contact me, I'll help you, I'll work with you. And that includes politicians. Come over here, let's talk. All right. But for Trump and this immigration, because now the ideas for the African American, now the immigrants can also obtain use of it. There's a lot of land that the government has. I would even set it up at the border. Have a borderland type of resolution to this. And have the immigrants that are here. You want to stay here? Well, you're going to build these communities. You're going to build communities. You're going to build up where you're going to stay, your shelter, your homes, your farms, your businesses. You're going to set it up. You're going to build up these communities in the designated areas. We sent Indians to lands and gave them their land for them to live on. Same thing, same concept. Give them a stepping stool to get up and going. Have them build and maintain new communities that are built up. And have them prove to themselves, to each other, and to the rest of the country that they can build a community and maintain it and self-police it and bring value to their properties and become homeowners. Holy cow. Of course, open to any American wants you want to become a homeowner, you're willing to work for it, come on out. And build up these communities and own the property. You get to own the land. And you build up the property so it becomes valuable real estate that they can keep or they can sell. If they want to go to another place in the country like every other American, they will receive their American citizenship also after a time. American citizenship, home ownership, all of these are like grade levels in the school system. And by the time they become homeowners and American citizens, they have proven themselves beyond what any other American citizen has to do. And they become part of the middle class, not the poor and needy and needing welfare. They will have their own businesses. They will have skills. They'll be homeowners. This is something that Trump would understand and know, because he's a real estate developer. So he would know about this. He would know how to make it work. See? So, but would the Republicans like that? See, that's the issue. This is why I'm saying that my solution fixes the problem, eliminates all this BS. But will the Republicans accept something like that? Because that solves the issue. As far as I'm concerned, there is some moral responsibility that a great country has for those peoples around the world. We do have a responsibility. We have to do it legally, responsibly, but we do have a responsibility. And so if you're going to close off the border, then have a robust system to assist people from other countries. And I think, and this is a good way, my solution solves the problems. It solves the problems. Okay, it doesn't help the Democrats in the elections, no, because they're forming new districts. Hey, maybe it opens up some opportunity wherever those communities are. It could, possibly. And if the Republicans are smart about it, they would be convincing a lot of these immigrants to understand what democracy is in the United States. And just because the Democratic Party has the word democracy in it doesn't make it the right thing, right? So they need to understand that. But other than that, I think it's a good system that would work, and Trump can make it work because he's Trump. He's the real estate developer that he is. This is right up his alley. Right up his alley. Okay? And this would resolve all of this mess. It's a lot of mess going on that would be resolved by it. Okay? By putting them in their separate communities, you're allowing time to filter through. You're allowing time for the drunks to get drunk. You're allowing time for the rapists to get, to get a little frisky. You're allowing time for, the unable to be level-headed and contributive to show the fruits of who they really are. And that way you pick them up, try to do some rehab, and if it just doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. That's simple as that. That is a filtration process. But the other people are safe. They continue the program. And so this is a good program that I have. I have to tell y'all because I'm not going to last too long. These are the ideas I have. Okay, I would want to work with somebody to make them real. But again, some of you people are hard-headed. And no one's, promoting my sensible broadcast, for goodness sakes. Right? They want to rehash the same old stuff. There's no solutions there. I have solutions. No one wants to listen to me. You want to hear the political thing, this side or that side, error on this side, error with cherry flavor, and you want to, or the others have error with the vanilla flavor on that side. Nothing gets done. Nothing will get settled. I have solutions. No one wants to listen to that guy. That's it. This is it. And we solve the issue. The border issue is solved because the wall has to go up. It's going to get controlled. It's done. Trump has done that already. But the illegal immigrant deserves an apology. And too long has the U.S. ignored South America. Why are you guys ignoring South America? We should have long ago industrialized South America. By time, Central and South America should be partners, all of them, with the U.S. Guess who's down in Central and South America? Take a good guess. Who's over there? It's going to thunder here. It's storming. That's why the lights went down. Sorry about that. And I'm not going to get up and put that light on. Maybe somebody here can do that. But who's down there in Central and South America? Can you guess? China. You have the Chinese all over Central and South America. That's why we have all of these issues. Okay, let me just... Estoy emitiendo. Yo te llamo en unos momentos. So we have these issues because no one was paying attention to our down pipe. That down pipe. China's been there. Okay, we have storms in the area. My goodness. we can see. We have storms in the area, and so we're getting a little bit disconnected here and there, right? But when I'm talking important stuff. So China has been taking care of underneath us. You can look at it. They were digging tunnels under our feet. Okay, and now they're all up in all the business down there. Yet these South Americans have no other recourse. They've taken over businesses. So people are unemployed, not because they're dumb. It's because the Chinese are smart. And they've destroyed their local business base. So, and to his credit, Trump, on his first term, started sending businessmen down to Central and South America to make business deals and do partnerships. Lord knows whatever happened to that under Biden. But we have to make some realization, folks. You just can't send people back home. We cannot close the door on Central and South America and expect things to go well for us. Because, yeah, for a while it will be nice. But when China goes in, because we don't give them any other option than to turn to China, China's all the way, here, come over here, we'll take care of you. U.S. wants to ignore you, we'll take care of you. Don't worry, we're going to put there, we're going to put some industry in there, we're going to make things better for you. That's all they want. So, as a Republican, to other Republicans, don't be stupid. Let Trump do something that maybe you won't like. Some things you won't like. Right now they're divided about Epstein. What the hell? Just throw it under the garbage. Flush the toilet already. There's more important things. Epstein and no Epstein is not going to cause World War III. But China undermining the U.S. in South America and Central America will make a significant impact if World War III should occur. Okay? So stop getting distracted here. You guys are so easily fooled. You're easily distracted. And that's why nothing ever gets done. Nothing gets solved because you guys go after this thing and after that thing, silly pettiness. Because no one seems to have a brain. And those with a brain, they're just using y'all that don't have one. That's all it is. So I've given a good solution. I have programmed. I got 40 acres and a mule. The real estate thing, I know what it is. I know what to do, because it has to do with a lot of projects that I have been working on. But simply, it could be a solution that will solve this problem. It solves all the problem for both Republicans and Democrats. And the greatest problem of all is that both of you owe these illegal immigrants a great apology. A great apology. And you need to step up to that plate. When you stop the BS and stop the silliness and stop the finger pointing, you're going to have to give them an apology and do something. So I submit my ideas that get to Trump, get to Democrats, and get to Republicans, and it's up to you all. Anyone listening to this, you need to get this information up to the people who can do something about it. And that's up to y'all. You can grow up and grow a pair, or just fight yourself silly until we all fall apart here. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen until you show yourself to be intelligent at least, if not intellectual, and to solve this issue. Apologize for all the BS that both sides have caused. Take care and see you next time.